Hi everyone, welcome to another video of Azure Data Factory and DevOps series. I have already created a video about implementing CI/CD pipeline using Azure DevOps. Okay, so if you're new here, I would request kindly watching that video before proceeding this video. Okay, so as part of this video, I'm going to show you using Azure SQL database, creating a pipeline with the same and deploying the same pipeline into the next level of environments like testing and the production environments. But I'm just limiting the video till the test environment. So as we create, as we are able to create a test environment, so creating another environment is not a big deal. So I'll just show you the all the steps from the beginning, how we'll be implementing CI/CD for creating Azure Data Factory pipelines using Azure SQL database. Okay, so in this video, I have two Azure SQL databases. The Azure two, two SQL servers, Azure SQL servers. So I'm having one for dev environment, and I'm having other one for QA environment. So each one is having in a respective Azure resource group. I'll be showing you that here. So you see here, this is the uh, dev one. Okay, this is the QA one, and the other one is the this is the dev one, and other one is the QA one. Okay, so this is the data factories, and each one is having the respective database. So whatever the changes I do in the dev environment, once I commit my pipeline to the Azure DevOps, so the build should get created automatically, and it should be deployed to the higher environments automatically. So this is what we are going to do as part of this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the pipeline here. I'm creating a pipeline, so I'm naming this pipeline as first pipeline. Okay, so before proceeding with the rest of the pipeline creation, you complete the setup, GitHub setup, sorry, Azure DevOps setup. So set repository, it is fine. You can discard and continue. Okay, so as you already know, in the other video I have shown you, I have, this is my Azure DevOps organization. In that, this is the project that I have created. Okay, so you see the, if I click the repositories, you see I have a repository called ADF CI/CD demos, and the default branch we have is master. Okay, now I'm going to use the same here. So select the repository type Azure DevOps Git, and DevOps account is nothing but your organization account, and the project is nothing but ADF CI/CD demos. We have already a Git repository, right? Go for using the existing one, the same name. I have not given a different name. I have given the same name, and this is the collaboration branch for your repository. Okay, so from this, to publish your code, all your changes must be there in the collaboration branch. If you create a new branch, you have to raise your pull request to merge your branch with the master branch, and you have to publish your pipelines only from master branch. Okay, so if you want, you can change this. Okay, so now go for apply. So I'm going with using the existing branch master, But as a best practice, and when you work for the customer projects or customer engagements, it is always recommended taking your branch for implementing the future or any bug fixing, whatever you are doing. Okay, so it is always recommended creating a new branch and raising a pull request to merge your branch with the master branch. Okay, so that is the recommended practice. But as I'm recording this video for educational purpose, I'm going with using the master branch. I'm saving the same. So now next thing is I have to create a linked service for connecting to Azure SQL database. Select Azure SQL, continue. So you can rename this one, but I'm not going with, I mean, I don't want to waste the time uh, in those small things. Just keep it as it is. So here I'm going to hard code the credentials. Okay, so you can, I mean, I'll be recording the videos for different ways of authentication mode. Here you see the SQL authentication, managed identity, service principal, and all. I'll be creating videos for those things in future. Okay, so for the time being, we are going to hard code credentials. So SQL authentication we are using. I have only one subscription. This is the subscription. Go for server name. You see, I'm using my dev server name. Okay, so database also the same database name. The username is just copy and paste the usernames. I'll be deleting these usernames. Don't try to use them. Just test your connection. It should be successful. Yes, connection is successful. Now say create. So this is completed. Now go for creating the pipeline. Now you say, you name it as first pipeline. So I'm going to execute a simple stored procedure. Okay, so before proceeding with stored procedure execution, I want to tell you one thing here. I have connected to those two databases from my SQL Server Management Studio. So usually when we work for any project, the schema is going to be same across the databases. Your dev schema is going to be same as your QA schema. QA schema. So you see, I have only one table in my dev environment, and I'm filling that table from stored procedure. That's it. Nothing more than that. It's a simple use case. So I have only one table, and I have a respective stored procedure for uh, inserting the data into the same table. So here also the same thing. So you see here, I'm at my dev server and the dev database. I'm just executing this query, no data. The same thing here as well. This is the QA database and this is the QA server, and I'm executing no data. Okay, so now just go back to portal, and now I'm taking SQL Server stored procedure. Settings. So linked service is the one that we created, and the stored procedure is insert sample is the stored procedure. Okay, so now first save this, go for publish now, say okay. So now as you completed creating your dev pipeline, and I'm committing the code to my Azure DevOps Git environment. So as soon as that publish is completed, I mean the code committing is completed, it started generating the ARM templates. Those are the templates that we are going to use for our for implementing continuous integration and continuous and deployment. Okay, so as you already know, ADF underscore publish is the branch that Azure Data Factory creates by default, and that is the branch that we have to use for implementing, the code we have in ADF underscore publish. We will be using that code for implementing continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay, so let's go ahead and click files here. You see here you have ADF underscore publish. So each time you made the change that you made to your development environment, and once you commit your code, this is ADF underscore publish is going to be created automatically. Okay, so now you go for creating the continuous integration and continuous deployment. Now here is the pipelines. So this is the build pipeline. I'm creating a pipeline. So classic editor is fine. So where is your code? I'm having my Azure Data Factory code in Azure Git. So this is the repository name, and as I told you, we have to use ADF underscore publish branch, right? So I have selected ADF underscore publish branch. If you want to look at what we have in the ADF underscore publish branch, so you will be having a template for data factory and parameter for the data factory. So if you click this template parameters for factory, you have your data factory name and you have your connection string for your dev environment. Okay, so now go back here, click continue. So you just say empty job. So once you complete that, you can rename your pipeline whatever the name that you want here. Okay, so here this is the one, and you have to, if you want, you can change the agent job name as well. Okay, so I'm not going to change any of those details as they are irrelevant. Okay, so I'm adding a task to the agent job. So here task is going to be deploying the ARM template, right? So if you see here, these are the JSON files. Okay, so these are the ARM template, right? So we have to deploy the ARM template. So the task we have for deploying or publishing ARM template is resource manager, resource group deployment. Deploy an Azure resource manager template to a resource group and manage virtual machines. So this is the task we are going to add to the agent job. So select this guy and go for mentioning your Azure subscription details. So this is the subscription I am having. You can authorize to prove that that is your subscription. So here the action you are going to do is you are going to create or update the resource group. And yeah, so the authorization has completed. The resource group you have to mention here is the target environment. Here target environment is QA environment. So I'm selecting QA resource group. You can mention any name here. So if you want, you just check this and you mention. I think it is East US only. Let's say East US. East US. And so you see, you have to select the artifact, linked artifact. Template is the one, right? So ARM template for data factory, ARM template for factory. This is the one that you have to select. And the parameters you have in the data factory, for the parameters you have in this data factory, you have to select the other JSON file. So this is the one. Okay. So when you deploy these data factories into the higher environments, what are the things that you have to change? So if you see this one, factory name, this is the data factory name. So you what is the data factory name you have in your QA environment? This is the Venkat May 9 QA ADF demo. So this is the one that you have to replace with this value, and here is the another value that you have to replace for connecting to your Azure SQL database you have in your QA resource group. These are the only two things that you have to change. Okay, so the place where you will be changing these values is, this is the place, override template parameters. We have only two parameters. So how we have to override is, see here you are already, you have these details. Okay, now go back and open your portal, and you have to change this one as well. So these are the two things, I mean, these are the two parameters that we want to replace when we go for deploying to the higher environments. So we might be having a question like, as you are publishing this to the only QA environment, that is why you are hard coding this one. So what if we want to uh, deploy the same thing into multiple environments, like uh, uh, once, I mean, after QA it might be UAT environment, after UAT it might be production environment. So these values, how you will manage for the other environments means, you have to have a variables. Okay, so you have to create the variables, respective variables for the environment, and you have to use them. Okay, I'll be recording those videos as well. Say okay. So deployment mode is incremental. So this is fine. Go for just save. Say okay. I think I have forgotten one step here. The step is triggers. So here you have to check this one for enabling the continuous integration. So here you will be creating the variables for using them in the respective environment. It is fine. As of now, we'll go ahead with hard coding the values. Say save. Save. So when we go for clicking the queue, the build is going to be completed. Click this one, say run. So this is the agent job. So the output of this agent job we are going to use for continuous deployment. Click this one for the log. So now everything is completed, and the job is success. So go back. So now go for releases. So here is the another part where we will be releasing to the higher environments. That is the integration part, and this is the release part. It's a continuous deployment. So I'm just mentioning this stage is going to be QA environment. Okay, so here you have to add the artifact. This is nothing but the output that has been generated in executing your pipeline, this build pipeline. So I'm selecting the same. So build pipeline is, you have to provide the alias the same. This is the one. So always take the latest from the build. You say add. Once you complete that, then you have to select this one for continuous deployment trigger. Now save. Now just check these things. It's fine. Go for creating the release. Go for release 1. This is the release that it has been created. Now you just click this for the manual deployment for the first time. Say deploy. So if you go here QA environment, as of now, you know that there is nothing, right? So once this is completed, you should see the pipeline has been created and the linked service and all you will be having connecting to QA environment. This is completed. Let's see. Just click refresh. So you see pipeline has been executed. Pipeline has been created. Sorry, it is just created, not executed. So open this guy and you see the same execute stored procedure and go for add trigger. We are going to execute this. Say trigger now. Say okay. So once this is completed, you should get the data in QA environment, not in the dev environment, because you whatever the connection string that you have mentioned while creating your build pipeline is the target one. That is nothing but QA environment. So let's check that. So pipeline success. Now you see earlier you do not have the data. Now this is having your QA server is having data. Okay, so this is how you will be uh, implementing the CI/CD pipeline. Again, let's implement a change. Let's test the CI/CD. Okay, so I'm going to create another pipeline here in the dev environment. I'm just going for cloning this. So I'll say the second pipeline. So go for save, go for publish, say okay. Now you should see this is the, if you see releases, see this is the release one, right? Okay, so if you go here you should see so you should get a new run. Okay, so you will get a notification here. So let's wait. See the code has been completed. Committing has been completed and it is started creating the new build for the latest code. So once this is completed, here it will start automatically. It is taking 38 minutes last time. Let's see. So it has been completed. Now you see the other release is being started. So this is automatically will happen as we triggered, selected or enabled continuous integration and continuous deployment. So as we have only QA stage, we are saying these two. If we have other stages like UAT environment and production environment, we will be having the other two stages as well. Okay. So this is how we usually implement continuous integration and continuous deployment. So if I go here in my QA data factory, and if I refresh this QA data factory, I'll be seeing 2 pipelines in my data factory. Okay, so this is how we usually implement um, continuous integration and continuous deployment in Azure Data Factory. So in further videos, I'll be showing you, uh, rather than hard coding credentials, I'll be showing you how we use Azure Identity Management and Service Principal linked keyword service. Okay, so that is the agenda in the next videos. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. So I would request you to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new here. Uh, share and like, share my videos. Okay, thank you so much.